as most of my stories start, I was on the phone with one of my friends, right? And this is my like advice: get Christian friends. I'm telling you, never boring. Anyway, we're talking about like spiritual covenants and how people enter into them, and we're talking about how premarital sex is a way to enter into a very deep negative spiritual covenant, and this is something I talked to another friend about, and they really didn't get what I was saying. But like, let me try and explain myself here because I can reword myself properly. So in the Bible, this is I think the book of Genesis. Yeah, it's the book of Genesis. Jacob works for Laban, his uncle, for 7 years, right? And this is done in exchange for his daughter Rachel. However, on the wedding night, Laban switches daughters because his daughter Leah was older and was unmarried, so he wanted Leah to marry Jacob, right? So that night, he tricks Jacob and has Jacob sleep with Leah because that meant they were married. That was like signified they were married, and that was his wife now. So he could not no takes his backs or whatever they said back then, and so he had to stay married to her because that was a covenant. They were joined as husband and wife, point blank. I think in today's world we think marriage is all the paraphernalia that's attached to the ceremony, all the white dress, all these things. That's not what marriage is in the Bible. The Bible tells us very directly, if you join yourself with a prostitute, you are also a prostitute. Marriage is a process by which two become one, and that's what sex is. That's why it's such a strong covenant. When you do it outside of marriage and use it outside of the purpose and will of God, it's going to impact you negatively because it was never meant for single people. Point blank, period. The point of it spiritually, when God created it, was to join two people. So whoever you've slept with, you've joined yourself with them. And we're talking about this topic, and we got to the topic that these like covenants you make impact your life for a long time. I know so many people who like prayed for marriage after they came into Christ, after leaving the world and leaving immorality, but they came to Christ and they still struggled because this was an altar that was set up, and this was something that's going to speak into your life if not properly dealt with. And this is not just saying that sex is the one thing that's an altar. No. So many things. And it came to like we talked about, and this is something I said, and like I really had to get the revelation like a while ago to understand. But often I'll see so many people in college and they're living very sexually promiscuous lives, which is like an honest thing. And they honestly believe the minute they like get older, they'll get married, and this is what's going to happen. They're going to be perfect. Oftentimes, you don't understand when you're living a sexually promiscuous life, that's also another covenant you've made. That's an altar you've set up in your life, and it's going to speak into your life for generations. That's why you'll see so many people who are sexually promiscuous get married and they're constantly cheating because they already set up that altar, so to speak. They already set up that covenant because they don't understand, as I was saying, they don't understand that our actions are just very impactful, that what we do physically impacts the spiritual. That's like the easiest way I can explain it. And the statement I've heard constantly, and this is something I had to like truly like deep how like impactful it is if you're spiritually married, who in the physical is going to marry you if you have a husband? You're already spoken for in the spirit, and you can't keep joining yourself with multiple different people, setting up different altars and thinking it's not going to impact you in some sense of the way. These are all soul ties. And then people are like, oh, soul ties are not real, soul ties are not real. I'm telling you, I have seen a lot of my friends who are in awful relationship, like terrible. No personal common sense would be there for longer than 2 seconds. Stay because there's a soul tie there. Because something is taking you back to that person. Because spiritually you're married to that person. That's literally it. And I know like it sounds so like very deep and churchy and all these things, but it's not. This is something the Bible talks about in extensive detail. Because God is like, I don't want you to be married to more than one person.